Class is in session. MLB hitting the book show Monday, July 28th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack with you, ready to break down the Monday MLB card. Pretty exciting week in the world of baseball. The trade deadline is Thursday this week, so a lot of moves are going to be made by teams in contention. So excited to see how that all unfolds. But daily work continues, betting and handicapping and trying to make some money with the MLB card. And we will try to do that once again here to get the week started. So without further ado, let's jump in and we will begin with the Blue Jays and the Orioles. And Blue Jays, best record in baseball. Never thought I'd say that at any point this year, but here we are. Chris Bassitt, Zach Eflin, the pitching matchup here. Jays pretty much even money here, minus 110, 9.5 the total in this game. You've got obviously a Jays team that's played extremely well. They took 3 of 4 from Detroit over the weekend. Now, Detroit's not been playing well, but still another strong series, another great result for this team. They've been absolutely outstanding. Chris Bassitt on the mound here for Toronto in this game. He's been very good over the last month. If you trace it back to the beginning of July, he's been very solid. 4-0 the Blue Jays in his last 4 starts. So he has definitely been in great form. Will that continue here tonight's the question against Baltimore? Eflin's not been in great form, and 1-4 are the Orioles in his last 5 starts. 8.71 ERA for Eflin during those 5 starts, and in the last 4 starts in particular, he has allowed 19 runs in 14 innings. That's not good. You know, when you've got allowed 19 runs in your last 14 innings and you've got given up more runs than innings pitched, that's a problem for Zach Eflin. I think it's a very cheap price on Toronto here, minus 110. I have no issues taking the Jays at this price with the way they've been playing, and Bassett's been in a little bit better form. I kind of lean over. I think there could be some runs. It's a hot as fuck, humid night, and it's a lot like that in a lot of places tonight. And the Jays-Orioles series has historically been a lot of overs. If you look back, Toronto-Baltimore over the years, a lot of higher scoring games. So would lean maybe a little bit to an over here once again between these two teams. C-Mac, what do you think here? Jays-Orioles.
Yeah, I think there's going to be runs in this game. Jays finally lose yesterday. I think the O's got a shot here. I think they have some decent numbers against Bassitt. We struggled against lefties. I looked to the lefties in this lineup. Henderson, I want to double check on the lineup is posted. It is Rutschman. Oh, he's back. The 4-0.
Yep, Rutschman back after a 5-week absence for him, and he's back to it tonight. Yep.
Yeah. So, I'm going to say I just think there's going to be runs. Eflin hasn't been very good. We always talk about him at times. He's better at home, but I think both these pitchers can get hit. I think the Jays too. I'll be on Vlad. I'm on his RBI plus 155 as well. Good numbers off Eflin. I'll tweet that out.
What's crazy about Vlad is that he was not hitting for a large part of this hot streak the Jays have been on, and now he is starting to hit, and that's a scary thing moving forward for teams facing Toronto. If he gets going, wow. All right, Arizona and Detroit. We've got Detroit minus 130, home favorites, 9 the total here in this game. You got Eduardo Rodriguez and Tyler Melton on the mound here in this matchup. From a pure spot standpoint, I like Detroit in this spot. Here's why. We know they've sucked for a very long time. They've struggled. They've really had a hard time. I mean, going into their game yesterday, what were they, 1-12 in their last 13 games? I mean, they were just in a bad downward spiral, but they finally won a game yesterday. They salvaged a game, avoided the sweep against Toronto yesterday. And sometimes when you've been in a bad funk and you finally win, you get a little momentum from it. And I could see that from Detroit. They got Kerry Carpenter back too. He's going to help that lineup. They missed him desperately. And Arizona, we see the writing on the wall with this team. They're selling pieces here at the deadline. They're a team that's not looking to contend, in my opinion. We just saw them lose the last 2 games of that 3-game series over the weekend against Pittsburgh. They're not a team I'm looking to back, and I do not like Eduardo Rodriguez all that much, quite honestly. I know he pitched well against Houston in his last start, but before that he got rocked a little bit. Now we know Detroit's lineup really has been sputtering up until yesterday, but like I said, I do think Detroit, just from a pure spot perspective, pretty cheap price, minus 130. I'll give him a shot. Melton's a bit of a wild card. What are we going to get from Troy Melton here for Detroit? But it's going to be largely a bullpen day. But yeah, I'll take a shot with this price that maybe they get on a little bit of a momentum roll from finally winning a game yesterday. And all things considered, pretty cheap price for them. What do you think here, Connor? Arizona, Detroit.
There's a couple 8.5s popping up. A lot of under money in this game. Yes, can the Tigers? Finally the offense breaks out. I don't know if it can. Up until this bad streak, they were very good against lefties. I think they could get to Rodriguez. D-backs. I don't know, you get back there. I mean, talk about they can't hit. I mean, that weekend against.
I mean, they just got shut out in back-to-back games. I know Skeens, that's one thing, but to get shut out by Heaney, I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, the lone win, they got one run there in the 11th inning or whatever. Yep. The Pirates couldn't fucking hit. Jeez, in that game, that was a rough one to watch, especially if you're on the Pirates like me. So, yeah, I mean, I do think Tigers. I think if you take it, maybe their team total, I don't know. I'm just not on this game. I'm off.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I just thought, just a gut feel that, still the better team going through some bad times. They finally won a game, and maybe it put bounce in their step now. Yeah,
I mean, he's a Pirates who can't really hit. He gets hit there. This is at home. Maybe he could be better. It's tough to trust. I haven't really liked his numbers all in the minors. So that's another reason it's tough here too. And it's surprising, like I said, 9 to 8.5. Both these offense sputtering. Does this stay under here?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question. All right, we got Colorado, Cleveland, Bradley Blaylock for the Rockies, and Slade Ciccone here for the Guardians. Cleveland minus 270, home favorites, 9 the total, shaded to the under. I got Cleveland in a parlay. I've got a 2-team parlay. I don't do the parlay route very often, especially with favorites, with big favorites. But I like 2 teams as a parlayed together tonight, 2 of the bigger favorites. One of them is Cleveland here in this game, and I'll talk about the other one later. But I think it's a nice situation here. Colorado comes in. We know they've had issues all year, especially with their hitting. Blaylock's had some rough starts up and down. Ciccone's just been very good, very reliable, very sturdy, very consistent for the Guardians here. So I don't mind taking them, but obviously I'm going to just no -1 or run line. I just decided I'm going to put them in a 2-team parlay with another bigger favorite on the card tonight. Cleveland's one of the legs of that. C-Mac, anything here? Rockies, Guardians.
Yeah, I can't take anything here. I thought that was a good spot for the Rockies a little bit yesterday after the Orioles scored 18 runs. And the game before that, I think, I don't know, they put up 5 or 6 there. Yep. Early in that game, at least before the 5th, and hang on to win. Man, they just have been not very good on the road. Their offense. Blaylock's off that decent start, though, at home against the Cardinals. He had 1 walk. This guy cannot strike out anyone. Like, that's another tough thing. I mean, he's crafty. He's 0 Ks, 5 1/3. He has 1-1-4, 1-1-1. Yeah, so off here. I don't blame you for taking the Guardians, on the parlay. This price is too big. I just don't think the Guardians, even at home, the 52 and 53 should be that number, flat out.
All right, Tampa Bay Rays, New York Yankees. We've got Drew Rasmussen for the Rays, and we've got Cam Schlittler, the youngster here for the Yankees. He's actually been pretty solid. Yankees minus 130, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Talk about Rasmussen. I like Rasmussen, but here's the problem lately with him. He just doesn't give you any length. I mean, they don't really throw this guy more than 2, 3, 4 innings, and you're going to get a lot of the Rays bullpen. They've had a lot of problems the last several weeks. They can't hit all of a sudden. That was a brute in a home run in a hitter's ballpark. That was a brutal series offensively for the Tampa Bay Rays over the weekend against Cincinnati. 4 runs in 3 games in that series. So suddenly their offense is slumping. 3-7. They've fallen to 500. They're going to fall right out of the wild card race if they don't look out. This Tampa Bay team. That's how bad things have been for them. Meanwhile, you've got Cam Schlittler here for the New York Yankees. I thought he pitched pretty solid against Toronto, and is a really good Toronto team that's been hitting lately. held them to 2 runs in 5 innings. The Yankees are 2-0 in the 2 starts that he's made. I have not been on the Yankees very much lately. Why would I? They haven't been playing good. They haven't been playing well, and I know now they have Aaron Judge on the IL. That's a concern at the moment for them. But I actually bet the Yankees for the first time in a very long time tonight. I just don't like what I'm seeing from the Rays, and I like the way Schlittler's been throwing the ball for them. So Yankees for me tonight, a rare Yankee bet, minus 130. C-Mac, what do you think here? Rays, Yankees.
Yeah, no way I could take the Yankees here. I know the Rays have been struggling. Give me the better pitcher here on the other side with the Rays. And the offense hasn't been good at all. But I think Rasmussen, he's had some success against these Yankees. That's true. The Yankees at times could struggle with Judge in the lineup, go on these Spurs without him. I think it just puts more heat on everyone there. But it's still pretty good. Like Bellinger, Stan, Chisholm, Goldschmidt, McMahon, Wells. I don't trust him here. I think the Rays, at least if you have Rasmussen, the first 5 innings could be in this game.
All right, liking the Rays of first 5 a little bit here, C-Mac in this one. All right, Dodgers and Reds. We've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and we've got Burns on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. Dodgers minus 145, road favorites. The total here at 9 across the board. Yamamoto, continue to think he's a little bit overrated, in my opinion. I know he had the great start against the Giants and the Rockies. You shut him out, but I know. He is to me. He is. Yeah. They acted a few months ago like he's some, the next great phenom in pitching. Let's calm down a little bit. He's also a guy that got roughed up by the Brewers. It wasn't great last time against the Twins. He was in and out of trouble the whole time, and that's a concern here for me. And let's not forget, this guy actually pitched against Cincinnati last year, and he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings in this ballpark and lost. So Yamamoto, I'm not assuming he's going to go out there and mow down this Reds team. Now, Chase Burns, what do you get from him? Burns did get hit in his last start by Washington. Pretty rough outing. 6 runs, 7 hits, 5.2 innings. I'm taking the Reds at this price. Terry Francona Tito has this team, on a little bit of a surge here. 7-3 in the last 10 games. They're back in the wild card race again, the Reds. I like this price we're getting with Cincinnati here at home, plus 125. I still don't fully trust the Dodgers. Dodgers just dropped 2 of 3 against Boston to start this road trip. I like the number here and the price with the Reds as a home dog. And I like the over too, though, because I am concerned that Burns got smacked in his last start. And, maybe the Dodgers can do some damage. But I think the Reds do some damage against Yamamoto as well in this game. And again, it's very, very muggy, steamy conditions in Cincinnati. And all the factors point to enhancement with runs tonight. And because of the wind patterns and how hot it is. So I'm on the over here and also the Reds as a home dog. What do you think here, C-Mac? Dodgers, Reds?
Yeah, with the Reds, I think Burns is going to be a little bit better here. Of course, Dodgers just haven't seen him yet, so I think he could pitch. He's still young, though, and I worry about the walks. Dodgers still are a patient team. Problem is they haven't been able to catch it in. Couldn't really do anything yesterday, against Buehler. So I don't know when that really is going to change. It'll change here, but it might be a little bit longer. So I think he could be all right. I think Yamamoto can pitch well too. On the total, I lean the other way. I think this is an under. This hasn't moved. It's definitely thinking there's going to be runs here in Cincinnati. How is this team's offense? And unless one of these teams break out, I haven't seen much out of them, flat out, lately. Reds didn't really score. They had, I don't know, they put up 6 runs in the last few innings. Not yesterday, but the game before. Was that Saturday?
Yep.
I think they put up 6 or 7. So, lineup has been all right. But, yeah, so the total, I think the other way, the under. And, yeah, there's only way to look at it is the Reds. This has dropped. I think they're live here.
All right. There's only one series that I can classify as this is the standout series of the early week schedule, and it's this series. It's battle for first, NL Central. Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee Brewers. We've got Matt Boyd, the lefty for the Cubs, and Jacob Mizorowski, the outstanding rookie for the Brew Crew. Cubs minus 115, road favorites, 8 the total in this game. This is interesting because you could make a point counterpoint here that really Milwaukee, with the great run they put together, albeit they did lose 2 or 3 at home over the weekend against Miami, but still overall, yeah, the 62-43, a great home record, and they're a slight home dog. You could say, hey, great value on Milwaukee. And maybe you're right. I ain't going against Matthew Boyd right now. There's no way I'm doing that. You could say all you want. There's great value with the Brewers, but Matt Boyd has just been phenomenal. This guy's just right now, he's pitching at such a high level, and he's doing it with, good old-fashioned pitching. Guy that changes speeds, mixes things up, keeps the hitters off balance, doesn't throw hard, but he just knows how to pitch. And he has been on this just phenomenal run. He's given up. Think about it. He's now pitched in his last 5 starts, 33 innings. He's given up 2 runs. Think about that. 2 runs, 2 in the last 33 innings for Matthew Boyd for the Chicago Cubs. So he's been absolutely lights out. He's been phenomenal. It's a great series. It's a great game. I don't have a strong opinion. But it's Cubs for me or pass. Boyd's been that good. And let's not forget with Mizorowski. He only went 3 innings in his last start, was taken out early. Now he's being asked as a rookie to go in there in the biggest game he's ever pitched in against a team you're battling with for first place in the division. That's a lot of pressure on this young kid. Let's see if he's up for it, Mizorowski here. C-Mac, what do you think? Cubs, Brewers?
I think he's up for it. I mean, I'd rather be here at home.
Yep.
I think he can deliver for sure. Boyd's just been really, really good. I don't know if any one of these guys gets hit. I mean, I think you have to look at the under in this game a little bit. Maybe if you don't trust the bullpens, you can look first 5. But on the other side, I think it's a little bit of a coin flip. I think this game is tight. Maybe something to bet live, in this game. I just didn't really find value here with these 2 teams, kind of the way they've been playing at these prices.
Yeah, maybe the Brewers are, Adam, it's a great point. Brewers due for a little bit of a cooling off period here after, with the incredible run that they lost 2 or 3 against. I'm with you. I lean Cubs. It's not a strong opinion, not a big bet. I don't even know if I think actually I did place a small bet on the Cubs, but like I said, not my favorite look on the board tonight, but like I said, for the Brewers, I do see signs of them maybe cooling a little bit. And I'll put my faith in the more veteran pitcher tonight, Boyd, who's been lights out. Than Mizorowski's got to show me in a big spot he's ready to pitch well. I think he'll pitch okay, but like I said, okay isn't going to beat Matthew Boyd right now because he's given up 2 runs in his last 33 innings. That's insane, but unbelievable stuff from him. All right, Red Sox and Twins. Richard Fitz here. For the Boston Red Sox. Never gets old. Simeon Woods Richardson here for Minnesota. Boston, it's even money, 9 the total. I mean, just based on the price, I'm on Boston here. Now, I'm not a big Richard Fitz fan. Dick Fitz, as you guys know, he's kind of up and down. He's some good, some bad. But it's not like Woods Richardson is the next Cy Young Award winner that I'm going to be fearing Simeon Woods Richardson. And not to mention Minnesota's kind of, we just saw it. They traded Chris Paddock. They're kind of, trading pieces now, kind of throwing in the towel on the playoff race. So, I'm not excited about back in Minnesota right now. That is for sure. So just based on this price, I'm a little bit interested in Boston. Now, like I said, Richard Fitz, bit of a wild card. You don't know if you're going to get a great situation from him, or start from him, but I'm just not thrilled about backing the Twinkies right now. What do you think here, C-Mac? Because the Twinks, to me, they're selling off pieces left and right. Boston, Minnesota. What do you think?
The Twinks. No Buxton here in this lineup. It looks like. I don't know. This one's like everything just screams that it's moved here to the Red Sox. I think there could be some runs. I don't love it at 9, but I don't know. They take 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. I think it could be a flat spot. If the Twins were ever going to get this, is get to Fitz. He's been all right though. Wasn't his last start pretty good? Did you just touch on that?
Last start was, I guess, so-so.
Last start. A couple before that.
Philly, but before that he was pitching well. Philly's a good team at home. We know that. They can hit at home, but he pitched well against Colorado, pitched well against Cincy, pitched well against the Angels. He had 3 pretty good starts before that.
Yeah. Richardson wasn't very. I mean, he got pulled pretty quick, even though he gave up 3 earned, but he walked 5. He labored there that start in LA. So, he's been tough to trust, like to back my money on. So yeah, I'm off. But I get why everyone's just here on the Red Sox. Look, Bregman, the same guys, Anthony, Duran, all them. Those 3 or 4, they are hitting.
Phillies and White Sox. We've got Christopher Sanchez, the lefty, and Davis Martin, the pitching matchup. Phillies minus 240, road favorites, 8 the total in this game. The win. This is another favorable matchup, ballpark, and favorable setting for runs here, according to a lot of factors. I'm not excited about betting an under with or over with Christopher Sanchez, but there are some things that I worry about. He's coming off, season high in pitch count, complete game against Boston in his last start. You know what also concerns me about Christopher Sanchez? Extended workload, and he's been phenomenal, no denying that. But he's coming off a complete game, most pitches he's thrown all year. It's going to be a hot night in Chicago, and the White Sox are just dismantling left-handed pitching all of a sudden out of nowhere. I mean, they've just been absolutely incredible, the White Sox, the last few weeks against Southpaws. So they should match up in theory against Sanchez pretty well, even though Sanchez has been lights out. I just get the sense coming off the high pitch count, the complete game against Boston, White Sox hitting against lefties very well lately, that I think the White Sox could score some runs tonight. And then I definitely think the Phillies can hit Davis Martin. Davis Martin's given up 8 runs in his last 11 innings. That's not very good. So I actually have this pegged as maybe a sneaky over with the Phillies and the White Sox. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, the White Sox, this was my thing, can they hit Sanchez? Like, they've been better, but I don't, he just keeps pitching well. So like,
he does.
It's tough for me. White Sox too, been big if they would have won yesterday, 5-4 game, as I was on them. I think this price is just too big. I mean, if you look at, I guess you look at the Phillies team total here against Martin. He's 2-8, but he's got a 3.89 ERA. He's been hanging in there. Maybe in this start too, he could kind of give you just up a couple runs. So it's just nothing I bet here, and I lean to the under. The White Sox team total under, but they've just been hitting too well, and 8 was too low for me.
All right, good stuff. Next up, we've got Atlanta, Kansas City, Spencer Strider, and old Dick Mountain. Rich Hill back on the mound for his second start with the Royals. Atlanta minus 170, road favorites, 9.5 the total in this game. Crazy to think of Kansas City as buyers, but they are. They haven't punted on the season yet, even though they're 52 and 54. Pretty crazy to see that, but yet they look like they might be trying to add because they brought in Grichuk in that trade over the weekend, and they are playing a little bit.
That didn't do anything though. I saw that. What the fuck?
Yeah, but the fact is, you're adding players. You're not doing that unless you think you're going to maybe get back in it. They got a lot of work to do. The problem is they're banking on Detroit faltering more, and I don't think that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, they are playing better. The Royals, they did win 2 or 3 against a Cleveland team that was playing well. They won 2 or 3 at Wrigley against the Cubs. That turned some heads. So we got to give the Royals some credit. They've been playing a little bit better. I kind of want to take them. Plus 145, plus 150 here. Because what the fuck's Atlanta doing laying minus 170 on the road? I know it's Strider because it's him on the mound. I understand that. But it's not like, look at the record with Strider, 1-4. You know that? Atlanta is 1-4 in Strider's last 5 starts. Now, he's pitched well in a lot of these games. A lot of it has been no run support for him. But still, you want to lay minus 170 with a scuffling Braves team that, has not been hitting the ball consistently against a Kansas City team that's kind of in better form right now and a big plus price at home. I'm petrified to back Hill. That's the problem. I mean, we're talking about, you're putting your money on a 45-year-old man, throwing the ball here for the Kansas City Royals tonight. But I think the value is certainly up with Kansas City. C-Mac, what do you think here? Braves, Royals.
I think can he go out there and grit a little bit? He did just, somewhat. I thought the Cubs start. I know he got out of there.
Mountain was okay against the Cubs at Wrigley. Yeah. And you know what? 3 runs in 5 innings, but guess what? Only one of them was earned. His defense kind of let him down a little bit.
Yeah, in that game.
Yep.
You're right. It's tough to take. He just nothing. He can't get anything past anyone anymore. I mean, that's just a fact. He can't strike out. I mean, barely 88s or tops. So that's tough. But this is another thing with Royals. Starting him, when Bubic is out now for the year, I don't know how they're even looking to be buyers. I think, I guess
they are more back of the wild card, but the problem is there's 3 teams between them in the final spot.
That's the thing. I mean, I get why they're still like, fuck it. We're 52 and 54, but we will see. It's just, this is just tough for me. And the Braves are just, even with Strider, I couldn't take. So, it's just, I'm off this game.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Nothing to do with it.
That's just one of those games for CMAC.
Yeah, this was the
Braves.
Cross out.
Cross it off the list. This one I like. Miami, St. Louis. Edward Cabrera, Andre Palante, St. Louis, -120 home favorites, 8 the total. I mean, suddenly, Miami's actually played their better on the road, and I don't blame them. They have no ambiance at Marlins Park. They have nobody shows up for the games, for Marlins home games. They've actually played their best baseball on the road this year, Miami. And they continue to go on the road and win series against good teams. Just took 2 or 3 from the hottest team going outside of Toronto, 2 or 3 against Milwaukee. They took 2 or 3 against San Diego. We saw them win a series. We've seen them be very competitive against better teams of late. And here's St. Louis since the break. What have they been? Not very good. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They just dropped the last 2 against San Diego. And they're pitching Palante tonight, who's just been horrendous all of a sudden the last few games for the Cardinals. He's given up 18 runs in his last 15 innings. The Cardinals are 0-5 in Palante's last 5 starts, 6.18 ERA during that span. I'm not backing him. Meanwhile, here's Cabrera, and Edward Cabrera's pitched very solid for the Marlins. We've talked about him for the last month or two. He's been much better. 2 runs or less in 4 of his last 5 starts. Winning record, the Marlins, with him on the mound in the last 5. 2.79 ERA during that span. I think Miami's a very good price here. Better form. The starter's in better form than Palante right now. I like Miami here. The fish to get it done. CMAC, what do you think here? Marlins, Cardinals.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, Palante might be due for a pretty good start, but how can you not want to be on the fish? Road Warriors here, especially as dogs. They're not big dogs here. But Cabrera's been decent. I mean, I think that's the only way to look. Cardinals just kind of scuffling, before the break, a little bit after the break, and they dropped the last 2. Yesterday really didn't get anything going. Yeah, there's Marlins here. Marlins are another.
No, Marlins, I agree. All right, next up, Nationals and Astros. We've got Lord and Framber Valdez, the pitching matchup here. Houston -270 home favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. This is the other parlay piece. I mentioned Cleveland. I parlayed them with this Houston team. And I know Houston's coming off a horrific series over the weekend against the A's. Swept at home, 4 straight games by the A's. Absolutely brutal. But Brad Lord is hittable, and he's not going to give you length. You're going to go into the Nationals pen, which isn't great. And you got the guy you want on the mound to get you out of a funk, Framber Valdez. He's been lights out. He's given up 1 run or fewer, 4 of his last 5 starts. The Astros are an unbeaten 5-0 in his last 5 starts. This is the guy you want on the mound to get out of to be a slump buster, Framber Valdez. So I think Houston wins. Putting them in a parlay piece, then I don't have to worry about how many runs they score, or what the margin is. Just win. And I think they will do that tonight. So Cleveland, Houston, money line parlay for me, which is about even money. I'm on that. CMAC, what do you think here? Nats, Astros.
Yeah, I was on the Nats yesterday. I thought it was a great spot to get runs, and they did early. With Lord, he's just going to go a couple here as long as he doesn't get hurt early. It's just, I mean, why I say that, the Nats fucking bullpen sucks. What the fuck am I talking about? You got to go with them the rest of the game. But you're right. Valdez is the guy you need here to stop it. Right now, I can't be laying a price like this at all or doing anything with a team.
You got to do what I'm doing if you're like Houston. You got to just put them as a parlay piece. Yeah,
if you want it. I'm not doing it, so get it. Cash it.
All right, good stuff. All right, now late night action. We'll go to the Rangers and the Angels. We've got Jake DeGrom for the Texas Rangers, Jack Kohanovich here for the Angels. Texas minus 210 road favorites, 8.5 the total here in this game. So I did this over the weekend. I think this is one of the, if you're talking about value in the futures market right now, right this very second, I put some Texas plus 500 to win the AL West in my pocket, especially with Houston struggling. I don't think the Astros have put that division away yet. I think Texas is live there. I got Texas now to win the ALCS or the AL at like a 15-1, and I put the World Series in pocket at 30-1 on Texas this weekend because I think if this team gets in, they're dangerous as fuck. They've got DeGrom, Eovaldi. Those are two good starters at the top of the rotation. What they do need is some bullpen help, but I think Chris Young, the GM, will address that at the deadline. And we know their lineup is better than it was early in the season. I don't know why, but they just weren't hitting. But we know there's guys in this lineup that should be hitting more than they have been. Garcia and Simeon and Seager, and you go on down the list. I think Texas, and we're seeing it now with Texas, they have a run in them. And if they somehow get it, you better hope you keep this damn team out of the playoffs if you're other teams in the AL, because if they get in, they're dangerous. I'm not saying they're going to win for sure, but they're dangerous, and they're not going to be an easy out for anybody if they get in. And they're playing their best ball right now, 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're on a roll. I took them every game against Atlanta. I couldn't believe the cheap prices we were getting on the Texas Rangers over the weekend against Atlanta. I took them in all 3 games. They are starting to hit now as well. They scored 22 runs in the 3 games in that series. DeGrom's been just, Mr. Consistent all season for them and has been really good in his first start out of the break, 1 run in 6 innings against the A's. Meanwhile, Kahanovic just isn't very good. We've talked about him all season. So I'm on Texas, but I'm on the team total here with Texas. Texas over 4.5, minus 130, their team total. They're starting to hit. Again, 8, 8, and 6 runs in the 3 games this weekend. I think they can easily get to 5 runs against Kahanovic, who's just not been very good for the Angels. So Texas team total for me here, over 4.5. C-Mac, what do you think? What do you think of Texas? Do you think I'm crazy here taking some futures on them? I think there's great value. If they get in, who's dominant in the AL? Like, if you can beat the Yankees.
Yeah, you got the starters. I mean, that's
even
the best
Toronto.
thing.
Like, Toronto has not won a playoff game under Vlad and Bichette and all these guys over the years. They look like the best team in the AL right now, but at playoff time, are they going to look like the best team in the AL, Toronto? And we know Detroit has collapsed. Like, if Texas gets in, why not them?
Yeah, I agree. Come on, it's 2. They just bring him up here for the start. They send him back down. The last time they just played each other. He just at home and he gave up 8 runs to the Rangers.
Yep.
And they have really owned him in the other couple starts that he's had. Yeah, I looked at the Rangers team total. I don't know if the spot's the best, but I think you have DeGrom on the mound and you got a sorry pitcher that you've hit well. So that works out for the Rangers here. So, yeah, I totally agree. Let's look.
All right, Mets and Padres. Dylan Cease and Frankie Montas here in this matchup. Padres minus 130, home favorites, 8 to 12. I'm not going to give you some great handicapping thought here. I'm just riding the team that's on a win streak. You guys know I do that. I did it with Milwaukee. I did it with Toronto. I'm doing it with the Mets now, especially at plus money. They're playing well. And I don't even mind backing Montas. You'd obviously want Cease more than Montas, but let's give Montas a little credit here, C-Mac. He's given up 3 runs in his last 10 innings.
Yeah.
He's pitched well. He's kept the team in the game. He's given them a chance. And I think that's all you can ask for right now. They're playing well. Like I said, this is my betting philosophy this time of year. If ride the streaks, ride the teams that are on winning streaks until they lose, and that's what I'm doing here. New York Mets for me at plus money in this one. Not to mention with Cease and San Diego, they're still all over the map right now. You never know what you're fully going to get from them one game to the next. And the Padres are only 1-4, believe it or not, in Cease's last 5 starts. So I think, yeah, Mets for me. C-Mac, what do you think here? Mets, Padres.
Yeah, I can't believe I'd say it's the Mets. I have to back Montas, but can he just do what he's done a little bit lately? Because there's no fucking way. I've been wanting to fade him. Arise is 6 for 9. There isn't really too many of these Padres that It hit him. He can get ripped here a little bit. Padres get the last score 9 yesterday, but I don't trust them to get more runs again. Coming back home here, where they've been up and down, even at home. So it's the Mets team that's hot here. Nemo, Lindor, look for those guys today.
No doubt. Yeah,
Jack of the day, Lindor. You went for that 0 for run. I think go yard off season. Who gives it the long ball?
Newfie Codfather sharing my thoughts there. I agree with the Rangers 100%. Got their futures in my pocket as well. Look, they got the lineup if they start rolling, and they're showing signs of it. They got 2 top of the rotation guys in Eovaldi and DeGrom. They got the manager. Bruce Bochy knows his way around the playoffs. He's only won how many World Series now? And they've proven they can win a World Series as a franchise. They did it 2 years ago. They're live if they get in Texas. And that's all I'm asking. Just get in the playoffs. Just get in the playoffs. And you're dangerous if you get in. That's what I'm asking of Texas. All right, next up, we've got Pittsburgh and San Francisco. We've got Mitch Keller for the Pirates, and we've got a brand new starter, prospect Carson Whisenhunt here for the San Francisco Giants. No relation to Ken, the football guy, but that's another story. Giants minus 130, home favorites, 8 the total in this game. They really like this Whisenhunt kid. Is one of the top prospects in the Giants organization. His numbers in the minors aren't great, but he pitches in that PCL league, Connor, and that league is very bad pitching and lots of runs. So take that with a grain of salt, but they really like his stuff. It's not like the Pirates are a great offensive team. I could see him pitching well, but Giants are a hard team for me to back, and especially lay a price with, especially with a guy I haven't seen pitch at the major league level. We just saw them get swept by the Mets at home. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. That's probably enough to keep me off the Giants. It's just I don't like the way they're playing. They're not hitting. It is a bad travel spot for the Pirates. Don't disagree with any of that, but I don't want to lay minus 130 with a scuffling team. Even the kid might be good, Whisenhunt. Maybe he's going to be great tonight, but still a guy making his big league debut. Can I see him first before I maybe back him? That's kind of the way I feel here. C-Mac, what do you think here? Pirates, Giants.
Yeah, first major league start. I don't trust it. Everything off this the bad spot for the Pirates after the big win yesterday. Keller, a little bit different guy on the road, and Whisenhunt's first start. I want the under. These teams can't hit.
That's probably the best thing to go with in this game. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust Whisenhunt, and he can walk people, but it's can the Pirates, especially on the road, numbers are even worse. They've popped up, especially the last month, some better numbers at home. But man, they are bad on the road. And he's got some pretty good stuff. He's got control problems, like crazy.
Oh yeah.
But I could see him go out, have a good game. In the PCL, he's gotten hit a bunch, which is an easy place to pitch, but these walks, I gotta stay off. If I had to, I'd take the under, and I'd take the Pirates. It's just flat out. Give me the better pitcher and under between these two teams.
All right, next up, last game, Seattle Mariners and the surging red hot Athletics. After sweeping Houston, 4 straight in Houston. Very impressive. Luis Castillo, JP Sears, the pitching matchup. Seattle minus 115, road favorites, 10.5. It's one of these games where, again, Sutter Health Park here in Sacramento, the wind's blowing out. I did grab some over. I also have warning signs and concerns here about Luis Castillo. I think if you get him in a hitter environment like this, he can struggle. And he got ripped in his last start by Milwaukee. 6 runs, 10 hits, 5 innings. Not what you want to see. I think he could struggle a little bit here in this ballpark. He struggled a bit when he was pitching against the A's earlier this year. Sears, it'll be interesting to see what we get from him here in this outing. He's been a little bit better lately. Can that carry over here into this game? We'll have to wait and see. If you look back, these teams played a series in Sacramento earlier this year. 2 of those games were in the double digits as far as runs. So it feels like with the conditions, it could be an over. A high number, and Sears has been better. So I'm a little bit, treading with caution on this over because of that. But like I said, I lean A's. I lean over in this game. I did bet over 10, up to 10.5. Now I lean A's. I do. I am a little worried about the letdown after sweeping Houston, but I'm not stepping in front of the A's, and I'm not doing it with Castillo. I think Castillo could get hit a little bit tonight. C-Mac, what do you think here?
Yeah, I think so too. He's been pretty good though. He's just kind of eating innings out there as Castillo. And Sears has turned around a little bit. His last couple starts have been a little bit better. He's got really good numbers in some of these starts against the Mariners too. They're only $1.65 off him. 18 hits, 109 at bats. It kind of, I just think the total's too high, but I think the A's, I look their way. I get other people who look at the Mariners. This might be a little bit cheap, which there could be a bunch of runs, but with a righty at home with this lineup, with the lefties that they have, with Kurtz, Soderstrom, Butler, I think the A's. A's are nothing here. This is one I haven't bet yet, but pretty sure. I'll be honest.
I'm with you. A's are nothing. I could only back the Athletics. The only problem is the prices are getting adjusted now. You'd never see minus 105 with Atlanta in this spot 2 months ago or even 1 month ago. There's actually starting to give the A's some respect for the way, I think they played in that series against Houston. So I just wish it was a better price, but you're right. It could be only the Athletics here for me in this game. And yes, Kurtz, after a day off yesterday, will be back in the lineup. And what an unbelievable game he had Saturday. That's insanity. 4 home runs, 6 RBIs, 6 for 6 or whatever it was.
That's great, dude.
4 for no, not 6 for 6, 4 for 4. I think he was, but he had 6 RBIs and
no, he was 6 for 6, 4 bombs.
6 he was. Wow, unbelievable for Kurtz in that game. Yeah.
Real quick, if you're looking to Rodriguez,
take his home run prop. How can you not? John Kurtz to Nick Kurtz. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had the day off. I mean, if you've been on it, you got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Now he's back in, but if you haven't been on, you jump in. I worry about it. But I mean, he's just been so. How can not? But I think some of these guys, they don't have the best numbers, but they've been hitting better. Rodriguez or Rosarena, if you want to look. And of course, Cal Raleigh.
Big dumper. Yeah, he's always a threat to go yard. That is for sure. All right, home run props. You already mentioned yours. You like here tonight. Yeah. For me, always a few that I'm interested in, no doubt. When I look at it for the, we'll see with the Jackson Holiday and Barger in the Toronto-Baltimore game kind of stand out. There's a couple of home run possibilities there in that game. Stowers for Miami, I think is a really good look against Palante. I could definitely think Stowers for the Marlins is a good option as far as home run props. Some of these guys for Texas, starting to heat up. Keep an eye on them, like a Josh Smith, Jung, Garcia. There could be a couple able to go yard against Kohanovic, who just doesn't have very good stuff. So I could see that being a possibility. We mentioned Nick Kurtz, obviously, for the Athletics. Who's just been magnificent, but don't sleep on Langoliers either. He's starting to really hit the ball pretty well in recent games for the A's. Soderstrom's another one, as Joey points out. So those are some of the home run props I'm interested in here. We'll get to best bets in a minute to wrap up the show, but first, shout out everybody: Adam Batman Westbury, Joey Moses, Robert Oliver Carlson, Gary Chen, Grant Clarkson, Landscaper Bob. Thank you. Landscaper Bob watches a lot of my shows. Appreciate him. Old E, appreciate you, no doubt. Rob, who else we got here? More, we got Justin McKelvey, of course, Nick Elvento, Newfie Codfather, Daniel Abuna. We appreciate all you guys. Gary Garcia joining us here. Markel, Rich H, Brian Elfring, the King's back. Appreciate all of you guys. Richard S, Don Play. Good to see Don Play in the chat.
Don Play.
Don plays
what up, my man?
Sports Radio.
Don Play.
Yeah.
Did you say Jerry Garcia? Or Gary Garcia?
Gary Garcia, not Jerry. No. Gary Garcia. J Stone 9, T Moss. Appreciate everyone joining us here. Great turnout here. Terry Ray. Appreciate everyone here on the chat. Thanks for joining us on this edition. All right. Tuesday, baseball show. Tuesday and Friday this week, we're going to have MLB shows. Wednesday, it'll be our college football Big 12 season. And I can't wait for that Wednesday show to talk Big 12 because that conference, there's like literally 6 teams that can make a strong case to win the conference. So that's going to be a lot of fun to talk about that. Wide open in the Big 12 this year. So that's coming up on Wednesday. And then we'll have baseball Tuesday, Friday. No show on Thursday. So that's your Hitting the Book schedule for this week. Let's wrap it up. Best bets. C-Mac, what do you like for best bet?
Yeah, give us a like. That's the only thing we ask for in the end. Give us a like, retweet on Twitter. Let's get to go Marlins, but let's go. I bet this early. Cubs Brewers, first 5 under 4. That's it. Best bet.
All right, big battle and a great pitching matchup, and C-Mac thinks it'll play out as such with Boyd and Mizorowski there. First 5 under, Cubs Brewers, and the big showdown for first in the NL Central for best bet for C-Mac. My best bet, he was going to go with the Marlins. I am going with the Marlins. Plus 100 against St. Louis. I just think Palante stinks right now. Cabrera pitching well. The Marlins have been good on the road. Marlins just took 2 or 3 from one of the best teams in baseball. I think the price is great for Miami. Plus 100, Marlins, my best bet here for this Monday. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button on the way out. Appreciate it very much. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We will be back tomorrow on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Book Show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.